Now let's look at differentiating the ArcCos function. We can write the differentiation in this form here, and it becomes the limit as h tends to 0 of d theta upon h. Now the only difference between this one and the ArcSine function is that the value for h is negative. So we end up with minus 1 upon the root of 1 minus x squared. So this is just the same as differentiating the ArcSine function, except we end up with a negative sign. So let's have a look at this in more detail in the diagram here. So we have the same diagram, and the triangle here in blue has got the angle theta. But now we've got the distance x, which is along this axis. So with the ArcSine function, the distance was up this axis because we were working out ArcSine. But now we're doing the ArcCos, which is along this axis. So this is the x value here. And then the ArcCos of x is this angle theta. And then what we do is we subtract off the distance h. So now the distance h is this distance. Where previously with the ArcSine function, the distance x that we subtract off h is this distance here. So if we subtract off this distance and we draw out the new triangle, then we're going to have the distance x plus h, where h is actually negative, which will take you to this point here. And we're going to have the ArcCos of x plus h is going to be this full angle here. And when we subtract one from the other, we get the d theta. So we still end up with the same triangle here, and it's still a similar triangle. Now the only difference is that the value for h, if we zoom in, is now going to be this distance here. And it's actually a value of minus h. So whenever we work out the limit is going to be the minus d theta by h, which again is going to give us the value of our minus 1 upon the root of 1 minus x squared. Now you'll notice here also I've added in this extra line here, and this is the tangent line. So let's have a look and we'll see what happens whenever the value of h gets smaller and smaller, and you'll see this tangent line here will tend towards the white line that we have here, and this line here will tend towards the actual triangle. So I'll adjust this value just slightly. Okay, so that's me made the value for h a lot smaller. So if we zoom in here, you'll see that the triangle here in white now maps onto this blue triangle, and it's a lot more accurate in terms of the mapping. There is still a slight difference, but it is very, very slight. And you can see that that slight difference is what you get up here. And you can see that in pink we have the actual tangent at this point, and you can see the actual tangent at this point maps onto the white line here a lot better. And the error we have is just this small error here. So this is what happens whenever we ensure that the value of h is small. It means that this right angle here is an actual right angle, and the other right angle here gets closer and closer to a right angle. So that's us looked at generating the differentiating the ArcSine, the ArcCosine, and the ArcTangent. Now what we'll do in the next video is I will go over the textbook way of deriving these, and we'll compare the textbook manner for deriving it with the diagrams which we have generated here, and we'll see how they match up. So that's all for this video. Thank you for listening. I'll get you on the next video. Goodbye.